Hey guys, how's it going? It's 8-Bit Eric. Welcome to the channel. Today we're going to talk about The Outer Worlds on the Nintendo Switch. This actually came out just this weekend, and it was something that I was wanting to play. Now, I did previously play The Outer Worlds on the Xbox One. It came out back in October on PS4, Xbox One, and PC. And then shortly after that, they announced that a port would be coming over to the Nintendo Switch. What took so long? Who knows? It always seems like the Switch always is last to the party, and I was always wanting to try out the Switch version because I played the Switch probably more than I do any of my other consoles, and I was like, man, why do I have to wait? But regardless, I did cover the Xbox One version on my channel. I do have a link in the description if you want to check it out and see how I felt about it. But in short, to summarize it, I was actually thoroughly impressed with what we got. Now, I'm a big Fallout fan, and I know a lot of people compare The Outer Worlds to the Fallout series, and it might at times seem like a kind of biased opinion to compare it, but I mean, look at this game. It's made by people from Obsidian, people that worked on previous Fallout games. It's entirely inspired by the series. It's a sci-fi type of atmosphere and setting that kind of also has that weird 1950s look vibe with certain like designs of characters and clothing and fonts. I mean, even the logo looks like it could be a spin-off of Fallout. So this game, regardless whether you get annoyed of it being compared to a Fallout game or not, is a Fallout clone. Now, is that a good thing or a bad thing? Honestly, in regards to the Nintendo Switch, it's not a bad thing. I keep clamoring over these huge single-player releases that come out on the Switch because it always seems like, compared to what the PlayStation 4, Xbox, and of course PC get, we miss out on a lot of it. Sure, Witcher 3's recently come out. There's also Skyrim, the Xenoblade series, Breath of the Wild, and a few other games that are these huge time sink, open world type of video games, and I always welcome a brand new one with my arms. That's why I was kind of upset that they took so long to finally bring it out. Almost a year. I would say about 9 months that we had to wait for this. So how does the Nintendo Switch version compare to the Xbox One and PlayStation version? Well, obviously, looking at graphics, you're going to probably be disappointed if you're going to directly compare it. We all know that the Nintendo Switch is a much weaker system in terms of horsepower when it comes to the other platforms. And I'm disappointed to say that The Outer Worlds definitely shows that that is a true thing. Now, looking at the textures, looking at the characters, looking at the graphics, you could see that they look extremely outdated and raw on the Nintendo Switch. In fact, to the point where sometimes it's just a eyesore to look at, especially looking at some of the cutscenes and the details of some of the characters. There's a lot of pop-in as well. Like if you're in the city, characters and buildings and objects will randomly just pop out of nowhere right in front of you. This has even happened to me with enemies at times. So it's very noticeable. Early on in the game, it looks okay. They do a good job of kind of hiding it by making sure the colors of the game and everything pop out at you, but there's certain points, like for example, there's one town where just really gray and just looks like a whole bunch of like dark murkiness, almost like a gravy gray, and it just does not look well. They could have taken their time polishing this game a little bit. I don't know if maybe they're going to work on patching it up eventually or not. After a while, I just tried to really ignore it, though. It didn't hinder at all the way the game played. For the most part, though, the game performed okay. There was times randomly when I would be walking through the map, like the open world map or even in towns, where it would do like a weird little loading logo, like a little loading screen sign, and it would pause for like a good solid 10-15 seconds. That was kind of concerning. I thought my game was going to crash. So at times it does seem like there is like loading problems, I guess, with how this port performs on the Nintendo Switch. To be honest, I always feel like Switch owners get gypped when it comes to how games perform on the Nintendo Switch that were previously on other consoles. It was a miracle that they got Doom 2016 to even work on the console, and it shows a note that if a lot of developers put their resources into developing solid ports or giving them to people to help put the ports together, it can happen. Unfortunately, I would feel that the Outer Worlds kind of slightly, just really close off the mark to being a pretty solid port. You got to factor in the graphical capabilities and the hardware capabilities that the Nintendo Switch has. Now, let's talk about the game, because a lot of you guys might not know much about this game. This game has you creating a character who's part of like some kind of colony. He gets sent to a different area, a planet that has a lot of different stories and stuff going on. To be honest, games like this, they have branching paths and stuff, so there's not a direct plot. Basically, you get sent to an area, and there's like different factions that are doing certain things that you have to try to cater to, and your branch opens up in order to change up the story. So there's multiple endings, multiple things that the game adjusts itself to that. So this really neat in regards to how an open world game performs. I know some other games, such as Fallout and Skyrim and stuff like that, do this in such a way, and this one actually does it as well. You can make every single enemy or NPC in this game attack you just by killing a random innocent person, or you can befriend certain factions and make the other ones upset. There's a lot to do in this game. And in regards to just the story mode, you could probably get through about it within like a good solid like 35 hours or so if you just focus on the campaign. But there is a good assortment of side quests here to sink your teeth into. So there's a lot of exploration and stuff. And one thing that I did like about this game that changes things up is that once you get your ship ready, you actually can travel to different areas and stuff, like different looking planets that have different towns and creatures and different side quests of their own and stuff. So you could probably spend most of your time on the first planet, actually, if you choose. I don't want to spoil stuff, but you have certain choices and consequences and stuff that will aid you with fixing your ship or not. And if you choose to not do it a certain way, you have to figure it out a different way, and it might cause you to play the game a little bit more different than I would have. Now, there is slight RPG mechanics with this game, just like any other open world game, with upgrading your character with skill perks and skill trees and different armor. You get like armor for your body and armor for your head, and then you get weapons, and the weapons do need repair once in a while. Everything does have a little repair element to it, so there's that. You can become encumbered by carrying too much. There's some slight scavenging and crafting mechanics and stuff here. So it's a fair amount of content, especially if you haven't played this. If for whatever reason you do not have it on the Xbox One or the PlayStation 4, if you're looking for something to sink your teeth into for quite some time on the Nintendo Switch, this could be a new experience. If you've already played everything else, like The Witcher and all that, and you're looking for something else to hold you over while you're on lockdown or quarantine or whatever, I would say the Outer Worlds is solid enough to do the job, at least for like a good weekend, or depending how long it takes you to play the game. Now, in regards to the Xbox version, if you have Game Pass, I believe it's still on there, or you can always just go and get it on Xbox if you prefer to have something a little bit more. But again, other than the graphical capabilities and the slight loading issues and stuff like that, I don't feel that there was too much wrong with the port of the Outer Worlds. It's severely underpowered with the way it looks. I think, honestly, that would be the biggest chief complaint that I have about it. Other than that, it's a very addicting game. It's easy to get synced in, do like a little time sync and forget where you're at with this game. Like, literally, I was playing it as soon as I got it the other day, and I was like, holy cow, it's already 9 o'clock at night? I haven't even eaten yet. So it is a fun single-player experience if you're a Nintendo Switch owner. I think it's worth a look, honestly. And if I was to grade it on the 8-Bit Eric game grading scale, I'd probably give it a solid, like a 7.5 to an 8, somewhere there, give or take, just because of the length, the experience, the exploration elements, the replay value with the multiple endings. On the graphics and stuff, yeah, it's bad. But don't let it steer you wrong. Don't let anybody convince you that it's a horrible port. If you haven't played it yet, and you must own it on the Switch. But if you want to play it and you have different systems, of course, go and get it on the PlayStation 4, the Xbox. You'll enjoy it much better on that end. And yeah, I guess that's it for today's review. Thanks a lot, guys, for watching, as always. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't yet. Let's throw some engagement on this video. Let's get this video to 100 likes, please. I would appreciate that. Comment down below. Let me know, have you played this? Is this something that's been on your radar, or are you going to pass? I'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks a lot for watching. As always, peace out. Consider supporting 8-Bit Eric on Patreon for just $1 a month. Link below in the description. You want to become part of the hashtag 8BE Nation, guys? Well, be sure to pick up your official merch, now available online. Link is below in the description. We got classic t-shirts, tank tops, hoodies, and even women's apparel. Don't forget, pick up your official merch now. And while you're at it, guys, feel free to watch the next video, or why don't you catch up on one that you might have previously missed. Thanks again, guys, for all the support. I couldn't do this without you. You guys are amazing, and don't forget to subscribe and click that like button if you are brand new. Thanks again, guys. Peace out.